So accuracy and levels of probability are always questioned. After all, you don't want to be looking over here when you really should have been looking over there. You know, how good is that CTI that you have? Acting on cyber threat intelligence is always a numbers game based off, you know, lots of harvested data, sound evidential reasoning, you know, logical investigational actions, unbiased investigational thought processes, leveraging what we know and what we've experienced too, in, you know, informed speculative reasoning. The list of skills really does go on. Having the ability to identify, to pivot, associate, challenge and question what we have in front of us puts us in a better place to potentially understand the value of cyber threat intelligence. So the simple answer here is it's everywhere. It also depends on the question that you want to answer. There are so many sources of data or information acquisition. It would take me from now to eternity, you know, to list them all. But to list a few, you've got things like open source intelligence, you know, what's out there on the surface deep in the dark webs. That includes media, news, dump data, pay sites, social media, IRCs. Other areas, you know, of grouped source include FineInt, GeoInt, political intelligence. There really is a long plethora of informational sources. Human intelligence, or HUMINT, or CHIS, or covert human intelligence, which is essentially collecting information and data from human contacts. It could be investigative journalists, but this also could include, like I say, CHIS, or covert human intelligence. Cyber counterintelligence, essentially setting up honeypots and analysing how attacks happen. Data collection via should I say, IOCs, indicators of compromise, or cyber observables, understanding what we are seeing on the network, the systems, common places, IP addresses, are the number of sort of places we will go to harvest this information. Vulnerability analysis, understanding your exposure, know your infrastructure, know your applications, your personnel, your processes. Do your vulnerabilities sort of managed service there? Look at your vulnerabilities, look at triaging, look at, you know, patching, and looking at best practice for configuration. Malware analysis is another place we massively look to gain information, and that's understanding the methods and obfuscations of payloads through the extraction and analysis of features of malware, the behaviour and the correlation, hopefully leading to some kind of attribution. You know, who's behind the attack. So you can track, and then in a joined up effort, potentially you can take down and dismantle the threat. So this is a phrase that's been stated so many times. In fact, it's a quote from the book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And it cites, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. I guess there are a number of takeaways from this, but my understanding and applying the idea to cybersecurity is that, you know, if you know what and where you are exposed and vulnerable, how you deal and protect yourself from these vulnerabilities, and then couple that with who is likely to be the threat actor to exploit those vulnerabilities and their motivation, their capabilities, and potentially understanding their modus operandi or their methods of operation, you'll be in a better place to protect yourself. By arriving, I guess, at a point where you can better begin to answer these questions, because, you know, I don't believe you will ever gain 100%, you know, assurity. We can begin to mature and gain some elevation of wisdom. The concept of a CTI-led, you know, security test attempts to address concerns that most organisations and businesses have around cybersecurity. You can only protect yourself from what you know about, or, you know, what you think might be on the horizon, what's coming your way. And essentially, by never, let's say, being, you know, exposed or experience a mature or advanced type of attack, most organisations, you know, simply don't know that they're actually being actively attacked, or they might even be compromised, or how would they even react? How would they recover? What, you know, what things should they be doing? They wouldn't know because they've never experienced it. The best way for an organisation to, I guess, ready themselves is have a playbook or a run book. To create this, you need to understand your exposure, you know, your vulnerabilities, and experience a controlled, advanced attack based on real life tactics, techniques and procedures and methods that the real threat actors are utilising. Essentially what you're doing here, you are simulating, mimicking the actions of a real threat actor, but in a safer and controlled manner. And this helps you to prepare, learn what to look for, potentially how to recover, the potential paths and movements that a threat actor may take within your network or organisation across your applications or your systems, and helps you better, to defend, deter, detect, obviously all the good stuff there against these cyber threat attacks. Essentially building that defence agility, that maturity and robustness. If you can positively address the quote, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, then you are definitely on the way to better protecting your business, your staff and your clients.